Welcome to this week's episode of Heat Seeker Outdoors. This week we're going to go do some water trapping.
We're on our muskrat line here and we're using our Hag spring clip from J3 Outdoors. So let's see what we got here.
Alright, so now we're moving on around this lake. We're using the Hag's bracket. This is just one of the many uses for the Hag's bracket. And then we have here the Hag's bait clip holding our carrot. You can catch a lot of muskrats and you can set a lot of traps really quick like this. So from start to finish, I'll show you what we're doing here. The Hag's has a 3/8 hole. It also has a 1/2 inch hole. We're using the 3/8 rod, so we put our Hags in the 3/8 hole. We're using a 1.5. I think this is an old Northwoods or any 1.5. I slide that all the way in there to where I can get that flat. Basically, I don't know, the carrot, I like it about that high up. So when we set this, we'll get it to our water level. What do you think, Scotty? You want to come right out here?
I'd stick it out in front of that food bed.
Yeah. Right there, I can raise my trap to just below water level there. Put my carrot. What's going to happen is that muskrat is going to come up and either straddle that trap. Eventually, he will step in the pan of that trap to get to this carrot. Sometimes we'll use lure certain parts of the year. You know, as it gets colder, I like to use lure. Right now, we're still, you know, right on that breaking line between where I like to and where I don't. So today, we're not going to. But that's a Hags and a 1.5 and a carrot. We'll see what happens here. Well, our trap's missing this morning, and muskrat season's winding down. I think we got one here on the Hag's bracket. Perfect back foot catch. We're actually going to pull these today, but that's just how easy the Hag's bracket works. As soon as they come off the trap, they fall in, drown. Even our carrot's still there, so there may not be another one in here, but we got one and we're pretty happy today. Well, we got a, what do you think, Scotty? 30 pound?
30 pounder.
Got about a 30 pounder this morning. Caught him in a 750.
MB 750.
MB 750.
Homemade caster we made in the shop.
We're 50% on our trap so far this morning, so
Hopefully we can hold that pace.
if we stay that way, we ought to have 40 critters here in a little bit. So.
Done some late beaver trapping. It's a little harder to catch them this time of year. We're fluctuating with a lot of water, rains, and it's water levels are rising and dropping a lot, so it makes it a whole lot harder to catch them. They've got a little bit of halfway of a caster mount set here. We're setting these TS85s, which takes a lot of the guesswork out. They're so big and they're a large trap. And in Indiana, they gotta be underwater. Not a lot of beaver sign here, but there is some beaver sign. So we're gonna make a set. Hope like heck we don't catch an otter. Our otter quota's been met. Just homemade bait we've made. Works pretty good. And even if they're not using it a lot, this bait, this time of year, they're breeding, so they're gonna come up and down the river, and as long as they can catch wind of it, they're gonna come investigate it. So, within a couple days, we'll catch a beaver here. Pretty sure of it, but it's critters, so you never know. But tomorrow, hopefully, we can show you a beaver in this trap.
This is our first beaver set of the day. We made this yesterday. The river's come up a little bit on us, and we were kind of worried about getting to our traps. We were kind of beating ourselves up, and then I pulled right up on our first beaver of the day. So it looks like about a 30-pounder we're figuring. And just to talk a little bit about location on this, we didn't really discuss it a lot yesterday. Scotty and I found some older beaver sign up through here. We didn't see a whole lot of fresh sign, which kind of worried us a little bit, but with these caster sets that we're putting in, anything that's swimming up and down this river, and this is the perfect side for the wind, because all the wind's going to carry the scent right out to him. He couldn't resist coming right into our caster. So
the water was high on the river this week when we were setting, and we found some high water slides. I'm filming, Brian's got down in the water to dispatch the beaver, and I look up and here comes another beaver swimming right at Brian.
Well, we got our, we missed one, but we landed a good one. About 60 pounds we figure close to. Caster mount, and he's kind of chewed up. We got to look, and he's been chewed up on a little bit. Late season, you know, usually we're not trapping this time of year, but we decided to. The water's been going up and down on us, and that's what's really hurting. Last night, what did it go up, Scotty? At least a foot. So a lot of our traps that were, you know, 6-8 inches in the ground or in the water were actually covered about 18 inches. So we had to reset everything today, and hopefully we'll be more successful tomorrow. But we're pretty happy with a 60-pound beaver. So we're here in the final week of beaver season in southern Indiana. We're standing right now on clearly what's an active beaver dam. A friend of mine got a hold of me, and she said her dad was having trouble with beavers on the farm, damming it up, and so we came out and looked, and clearly they definitely have a problem. So what we're going to try to do, I guess he's been coming out and tearing some of the dam out, and they just rebuild it every night. So we're pretty confident that we have at least one family of beaver here, and we're going to cut this dam out here in just a few minutes. Try to let this all you know, flood out and get rid of some of this water, just to kind of see what kind of sign we can find and everything, and then we'll show you what we're working on as we go. So anyway, so we're here back at the truck. Scotty and I went down and did some recon work. We broke the dam out. and realized that we're a little too deep for the hip waders. So I'm gonna get my chest waders on here. We're taking our 650s, 330s, and TS85s and MB 750s back down. We're kind of struggling a little bit. We found the den, but it's in pretty deep water. We were able to find some runs and stuff, but we're gonna make some caster sets and just see if we can pull them in. We've got a couple real nice days here, and then the monsoon sounds like it's coming. So
yeah, I saw like 7 days of possible showers sometime during the day. It's like
this weekend through next weekend. We're gonna get the traps on the four-wheeler and get going.
all right, we're trapping. Come trapping with Heat Seeker Outdoors.
Right now we've knocked the dam out. We've got the water down to where it normally would be. We went upstream, found the den. We've got a 660 that Scotty just set up there. We've got 2 of our TS85s set right here on caster mount sets. And then basically we're figuring that the wind's blowing across the creek like this, so we're gonna set this bank pretty hard. And there's really just not a good place for us to try to catch them underwater. We're kind of struggling with finding another place for the 660, but it's starting to get dark on us, and we're going to try to get after it.
Well, we come to run these traps. We had a guy that said he's been tearing the dam out down the ditch a little bit, and there's not a lot of beaver sign. There's a creek going around this bend. It's probably 100 yards from this ditch. The problem is they do, when the creek gets up, the beavers will come in here. This water is just in an old oxbow. It doesn't really rise or lower. It's spring fed, so it stays pretty much until it gets the dog days of summer. It'll dry up, but it's not a lot of beavers in here. We don't think. The creeks went back down, so they moved back to the creek, but he wanted us to get them out, so we come in and tried to set it, and we caught one. There might be one more in this little draw. We got the den's right here. We set a caster mount set, and the den's in deep water, so it was really hard to get to it, but as soon as he come out, he caught wind of that caster and come right back in. Pretty cut and dry, but we're gonna get this one taken care of and set him for at least one more night and see what happens. If we don't catch any more tonight, we'll pull them tomorrow.
On the line today, we're on our own. Scotty took the day off, and we've got our second beaver here in 2 days. We were kind of wondering if this was going to be a pair. We weren't sure. We caught a big one yesterday. This one's a little smaller, but it's still a nice one. And it looks like our 660 set off. We'll check it in just a second too. But got a nice. He's probably 40-pounder. And we caught him on a caster set. We ripped this dam out a couple days ago, and we knew that they'd swim down here to figure out why it was ripped out. We actually set a caster set on each side of this broken dam, so we're gonna get over here and take care of him and check our 660.
Some of the equipment we use this week is J3 Outdoor Hags brackets, catch some of the muskrats. We use these TS85s, bought those from Hoosier Trapper. Wonderful beaver traps. They're just pretty flawless. They're kind of large, but we use the 330s, the 660s, the MB 750s, and some Bridger number 5s. Kind of, like I said before, we have a mixed bag of traps we'd like to try, and different scenarios call for different traps. So, but these, as what we found last year, are pretty flawless on big beavers. We hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Heat Seeker Outdoors. We'll be having more videos coming soon.
Izzy, what are you doing? Are you cold?
That's it. That's it.